What's happening, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of Dissension, the MMA show for diehard fans, and not for those who think that you find Team Quest at the Renaissance Fair.
We're your hosts. I'm Josh Leduc.
And I'm Ryan Fight Freek Poli.
And we're here for another prediction. We got UFC on Fox 6. It's going to be a pretty good fight. So let's start out with some recent news. You got anything?
Well, it still hasn't happened with the FX on 7. I still want to see that real bad, but not really a whole lot, except the biggest thing in my mind is we're going on, who's the number one contender for the lightweight division? Yeah. They're saying Gilbert Melendez might get a title shot immediately coming in, and now they're going with former Bellator champion.
I mean, he just came off a win. It was, what's his name, great jiu-jitsu guy out of Japan.
Patricky.
No, he knocked out Patrick Ferreira, and his last fight he knocked out Shinya Aoki.
Oh, Shinya Aoki, there you go.
The Aoki Plata, not a Go-Go Plata.
I got that one wrong.
I
actually called Aoki to win that.
Yeah, me too, just because, Aoki in his last fight, he knocked someone out too. It was a well-known guy. It was the dream New Year's Eve card, but
and he's got a lot of those neck cranks.
Yeah, I'd love to see Aoki in the UFC with Bellator. You can see a rematch there. With Eddie Alvarez.
Not a lot of different news going on though. If you're
Vinny Malgalus, he called out Phil Davis.
And when the lighter weight or the lesser known guys are doing that, and it's that's one of the biggest news is I guess not a whole lot is going on.
Yeah, but Vinny Malgalus has been around for a while. He's an ADCC champ. He beat Fabricio Verdun. He was fighting up a weight class, and we all know how good Verdun is at jiu-jitsu.
The best highlight I've ever seen is that flying arm where he pulled off of Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
And I forget what championship they were doing in jiu-jitsu, but that was one of the most amazing flying arm bars I've ever seen.
Yeah, the ADCC is pretty hardcore, man. But, so that's pretty much it for this week.
And, we pretty much agree on the most of the predictions for one reason or another, but let's see exactly who we have. For the preliminaries, Magnus Sennenblad taking on Rafael Natal. You know what? The range definitely plays in a factor. He's 6'5" as Sennenblad, and but primarily I think he's a wrestler. He almost choked out. When was it? UFC when Gustafsson fought Silva. UFC on Fuel TV 2, I believe it was.
Oh yeah, Thiago Silva. Yeah, it was a while back.
He just fought Tom Lawler.
Oh, I know. Tom Lawler was doing
Francis Carmon.
Yeah, that was the most boring fight.
He almost tapped out Francis Carmon with a rear naked choke, and then he just gave up dominant position. He reversed it, and then it ended up being Carmon choked him out with a rear naked choke.
Yeah, and then Carmon got all that hype after that. We found out he's not living up to all that hype. Big GSP, but
that's why I didn't pick him the 2 wins he had after that, and then I ended up being wrong both times. So, but yeah, Natal, he's definitely the more advanced grappler in my opinion, and he's really good striking. He's improved leaps and bounds. I got to give it to him. The reach will play, but I think he's going to defeat him.
Yeah, we both agree on the card. I got Natal, and I think I'm not sure if it's going to be convincing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a decision. But yeah,
I was going to say I'm not really confident in picking a submission decision, but I guess we both say Natal.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I don't even want to go into too much of this one with Mike Stump taking on Paso Cross.
Yeah, we both got Cross on this one.
Relatively unknown guys. Yeah. Basically, the fact that he fought a little bit higher competition. I think
Cross he's been around for a while. He's been in the UFC. He's 4 or 5 fights in or something.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He hasn't really found a whole lot of success, but just based on the level of competition, I think that'll give him the edge.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're going to take us to the next fight.
All right, Mike Russo, Sean Jordan. This is the most interesting fight, I think, on this card because, it's kind of showing us who's going to be the next elite in the division because they're both definitely top 20 guys for sure, if not top 15. But I'm picking Sean Jordan just because he's a little bit more athletic. He LSU fullback or linebacker. He's a football player. Right. He's doing backflips and stuff. And you see Mike Russo. He's a cop in Chicago. He's not even doing this full time.
Yeah,
and he's a little fat.
Physical conditioning.
Yeah. He looks a lot like the guy Bellator heavyweight champion.
He does.
Yeah.
We're probably not even the same submission skills.
Yeah, but without that wrestling background. So, I'm definitely saying Sean Jordan. I wouldn't be surprised by a knockout. I think Jordan's got the best power. Yeah, Russo just got knocked out by Verdun. So, that shows me you need to. There's a little chin problem there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? It was the funniest thing is he's, I think, on a few websites where they have the rankings, he's ranked in the top 10, and everyone's going, what has he done to be in the top 10? They're saying Hunt should be ahead of him, Roy Nelson, Stephen Struve, but...
Yeah, I definitely see Mark Hunt ahead of him, for sure, but Mark Hunt. I mean, he's a former K1 kickboxing world champion in 2001, but
this fight will prove that I think he's overrated.
yeah,
Not to say he's a bad fighter.
Yeah, he's a solid fighter, but he's not a top 10 fighter.
Not at all. And I think this will prove it, and this will probably go leaps and bounds for Sean Jordan.
Yeah, especially if he wins this in a definitive fashion, I can see it knockout for sure. I'm not really sure if he can submit him, but
yeah.
But I mean, when you get the big guys in there, anything can happen.
That's true.
So much weight, one punch, it's all it takes, straight on the chin.
And I guess it all depends on how they come in with the conditioning.
Yeah, but I'm definitely giving the conditioning to Sean Jordan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, both of us on Sean Jordan. I don't even know why David Mitchell is getting the fight against Simeon Thorson. I'm not a fan of David Mitchell. He is only a jiu-jitsu guy, and they put him against Paulo Tiago, and it was like, well, now you have one thing as your bread and butter, and you can't even use it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he just got picked apart both on the feet and on the ground, and I don't even see this going to the ground. Simeon Thorson is very well-rounded, jiu-jitsu and in the striking. I just don't even see David Mitchell. I don't want to say he has a snowball's chance in hell, but that's what I'm saying.
I mean, the thing is, Thorson's a smarter fighter. He's not going to go to the ground with him, and he's going to pick him apart either on the way to a decision, TKO, or knockout.
So,
yeah.
Pretty straightforward for the both of us, again, one we agree on. This is a veteran fighter we both respect, Vladimir Matyushenko, but he's taking on where is Ryan Bader, really? A lot of people...
That is a tough topic, because Ryan Bader was definitely top 10, and I mean, his losses came to John Jones and the other Machida.
Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely, Machida's arguably number 2, right up there with Dan Henderson.
And I think, and again, I'm not calling this fight right away, but if he beats Dan Henderson, which he actually is the favorite to do so, I mean, you can't even say he's anything but number 2.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you lose to the Dragon and get knocked out, I mean, we've seen guys like Rashad Evans. He doesn't really necessarily mean your career's over.
Yeah, I mean, especially Rashad Evans, he's really underrated right now. After his fight with Jones, I mean, he was the first guy to go 5 rounds with him.
That's true.
So, I mean, it's really surprising how low he's gotten dropped down. I would say he's definitely number 3, right behind Dan Henderson. I actually have Dan Henderson winning the fight against Machida, just because Machida's going to try to stay at the distance.
Big H-bomb.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, he's definitely got that ground game advantage. He's really well-rounded in submissions, and he's an Olympic ultra in Greco-Roman wrestling. So,
very well said. Really good points. But
for this fight,
as much respect as we have for Matyushenko, I don't really see it happening. Unfortunately, do you see Paul?
Yeah, I love Matyushenko, but Ryan Bader, I think he's probably going to knock him out. I don't see this going to the ground. Both these guys are great wrestlers. Matyushenko was like a national champion in Russia in wrestling. I mean, he had a shot against Tito Ortiz for the belt, so he's been around the sport for a long time.
That's right. A lot of people forget that.
Yeah. So, I mean, sorry.
Fortunately, the old Lion's probably going to get beat by the new guy.
Yeah. So
it looks like we both got Ryan Bader. But, man, one of the most interesting fights. Clay Guida's first, I guess his debut, official debut at featherweight. Yeah. He's taking on Hatsu Hayoki. And he's fought jiu-jitsu guys before.
The thing is, when you have a good wrestler, I just wrote an article in. I was making a point. Good wrestlers and good jiu-jitsu guys, the good wrestler is always going to win because he has that control, and the jiu-jitsu guy's not going to be able to move.
Yeah.
The thing is, with Guida, he's a great wrestler, and he's got some really good jiu-jitsu. He's got great ankle locks.
So probably a little bit more of a
he's
a little bit more an advantage for him on that one.
Definitely. When it hits the ground, it's tough to call because Hayoki's great on the ground, but Guida's going to be on top the entire time. He's going to be taking, he's got the greatest cardio in the now featherweight division. I mean, he's a cardio machine. You say cardio Kane up in heavyweight, right here. He won't stop moving.
He is definitely one of those guys that just goes like the Energizing Bunny.
Yeah, he's got underrated striking, so I think wherever this fight takes place, Guida's got the edge.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Yeah. So that's Hatsu Hayoki is definitely one of the top guys, but unfortunately, this is a bad matchup for him.
Yeah.
And I see Guida just stifling his jiu-jitsu attempts, and not much else to say.
Yeah, the biggest thing in this fight is I wonder where Guida's going to try to take this fight, because on the ground he does have a chance of getting caught.
Yeah.
But I mean, people don't think he's got great strength. He's really wild and crazy. It's a lot with the air when you get that head movement going on.
I'll tell you, the only thing I don't want to see him do is that running around stuff he did in the last 3 rounds against Gray Maynard.
Yeah, I mean, he was winning that fight too, but
I mean, good first 2 rounds, and then I don't.
We'll see what happens, but as long as nothing like that happens, I see him coming forward the entire fight and winning either by decision or TKO.
I'm inclined to agree. Definitely one of those. It'd be awesome if he submitted it. That'd be crazy, but I'm not gonna pull that off.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know, one of my hard
tough
fights to really call. But we have Matt Wyman taking on T.J. Grant.
It's a
Both
tough
of them
fight.
kind of surprised us in their last fights.
Yeah, especially Matt Wyman. I was really surprised. I forget the guy he fought, but he was
Oh, and
really
when
top
somebody
ranked.
Paul Sass?
Yeah, Paul Sass, great jiu-jitsu guy. That was on the. It was in Nottingham when you had Amir Sadal and Dan Hardy fighting. It was really great. I mean, you got him with a really nice arm bar. I mean, as soon as he hit the ground, everyone's like, "Oh, Paul Sass has got this."
Yeah.
But Wyman surprised a lot of people. He's a veteran. I mean, he's been around for a while.
Not only did he submit him, but it was how many submission attempts of Sass did he get out of?
Yeah, he's got great
Like
submission
one
defense.
heel hook, I think he went for an armbar,
Yeah.
a triangle.
Yeah.
He was just all over him. He was able to get out of every single one and then counter with his own armbar.
Yeah,
It took him a while
it's
to
gonna be
get it.
really
I didn't think
interesting.
he would, but guy's got heart.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got T.J. Grant, who's always pretty impressive. I mean, these guys are on the top of the prelim card for a reason. It's going to be an interesting fight, and I really don't know who to pick in this fight.
And I'm going in my mind right now as we speak, kind of back and forth, but my gut is telling me to go with Grant just because he went toe to toe in his last fight with, and of course now it's slipping my mind, but I picked him to lose the fight. He was good in wrestling. He's very well rounded. Good jiu-jitsu. He submitted Shane Roller.
Yeah, Shane Roller's pretty good jiu-jitsu.
He's got good wrestling, and he's a heck of a striker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really improving in his striking. He's not afraid to go toe to toe and just be like, hey, let's stand and bang, screw technique.
Yeah.
So I mean, I find him to be pretty well rounded. I'm not gonna say he's within the top 10, but I mean, look out for T.J. Grant. But
He's going to be big, I think.
I'm leaning towards Grant, and I guess for nothing else that I know, Wyman probably will not stand with him.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can actually get him down, I see Wyman taking the fight, but it's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a one-side beating by Grant, or it's going to be a really close fight.
I guess I'm just gonna go with statistics and odds, and I gotta go with Grant.
Yeah, I'm going for a push on
I'm
this.
still trying to remember who the heck the fight I was thinking about, but it's not coming to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I want Wyman to win. I'm a Wyman fan, and it's gonna be a close fight, but I can't pick one of these guys. It's gonna be too close to call for me.
Good stuff. Well, hey, we can abstain. It's no big deal.
All right, here comes the main card.
Hey, we actually disagree on this one.
Yep.
We go ahead and pick your boy because
All
I'm.
right. Yeah, we got Eric
I'm
Crowe,
still-
we got Ricardo Lamas, and I got Ricardo. Who's gonna win this fight? I think.
Man, I as much I've been critical of Eric Koch. I have because I don't think he's in the top 10.
Exactly. Me too. That's the main reason I'm not picking him.
And I'm not even saying that he couldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm saying skill-wise, I think he is, but you got to prove it.
Yeah, you have to win fights against big names.
His best win is over
Jonathan
Jonathan
Brookins.
Brookins, and I'm sorry, that's a decision win.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think his striking will just be enough. He might be able to win a decision. Maybe he knows he's going to try to avoid the takedowns,
Yeah.
so he's probably working. Stay away from the takedown. Circle off, stay on the feet, pick him
The
apart.
big thing you got to watch too with Lamas is really good jiu-jitsu. We saw it in Joe Lozon and Jim Miller fight. He shot him for a flying heel hook.
Yeah,
You got to be able to watch those. The flying submissions from the outside. It's really tricky. Nobody sees it coming.
I'm just
it happened to
hoping
Anderson Silva when Rio shot him.
one of probably the most amazing submissions
Yeah,
we've
right
ever
up there with
seen.
Chance Sung Jung.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
But, I mean, again, I'm thinking he's got to be watching a lot of tape on him. He probably sees it coming. And if anything, I think Yamas has got to do more because he's the one who's got to initiate the takedown. He's got to get it down and use his jiu-jitsu. It starts on the feet, so really all our coach has got to do is just avoid it and just pick him apart and he is the favorite. He's the favorite for a reason, and they kind of played it out that way. So, again, I got to go with statistics. I'm going to go with Eric Koch.
this is a point I want to make because a lot of these great jiu-jitsu guys, how do you get the fight to the ground? You got to go for the takedown.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever happened to pulling guard? I mean, you see it in jiu-jitsu, but you have to have a great guard.
That's what it is.
Eddie Bravo talks about this a lot. There's one guy off the top of my head I can think of,
John
Shinya
Jones.
Aoki. No,
Oh,
Shinya Aoki.
John Jones did it a few times, but
Yeah, but his jiu-jitsu's
that's
nowhere.
not his game.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You got to be able to have that third. You can either stand a strike, take it to the ground, or pull guard.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to, especially all those jiu-jitsu guys out there, they got to be able to work to pull guard because, I mean,
Old
so
school
many
Matt
guys.
Serra.
Yeah, exactly. Old school jiu-jitsu. So, yeah.
So,
So-
you got Ricardo Young, you stand
Yeah,
on your
I
boy.
got Youngs. Yeah.
And I could easily see him getting to the ground, but I think I would just be playing a little too favoritism if I picked him. I gotta be. I just stick with the statistics and just the odds, and I think Eric Koch is just going to avoid it, be a little smart, but I could be wrong. He might just have the world's worst game plan, try to get in, try to clinch with him, and then it's like, dude, what are you doing? You're going to get taken down.
Exactly.
But, this one's a no-brainer.
Jackson and Glover Teixeira, yeah, we both got Teixeira, but the thing is, how's he going to do? He's going to knock him out, is he going to take him to the ground and submit him, or is he going to win a decision?
I think he can finish him any way he wants.
Exactly. He's got really good jiu-jitsu. He's been, I mean, you don't see him. He's working with the pit. I mean, he's got Chuck Liddell in there. He is the next Chuck Liddell with good jiu-jitsu. I mean,
I think he's that one guy who, as soon as he beats Rampage, he's going to start getting...
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to fight him. I mean, he's a wrecking machine.
Maybe now Shogun will fight him.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
Probably
I mean,
not.
a lot of props for Shogun, but I wouldn't even want to see him fight Teixeira. He's just going to get knocked out and probably retire.
Then who's next for this guy?
I would like to see the loser of Machida and Henderson. This is the one time I want Henderson to lose. I love Henderson, but I want to see him lose just because it would be such a brawl against Teixeira. I mean,
I can see that.
Henderson has got a great chin. He's never been TKO'd or knocked out. So, I mean, you're sitting there, you got Teixeira throwing bombs, and you got Dan Henderson with his granite chin. Who's going to win?
I think I like that. I do kind of like that. That's actually a really intriguing matchup.
Yeah, exactly. And if Machida loses, I mean, you got a wrecking machine in Teixeira and the Dragon, who keeps his distance, stays out there and throws his crane kicks. So, I mean, they're both intriguing style matches. One's a brawl, one is can he get inside and knock him out.
Man, I'm liking both those matchups,
Exactly.
and that's actually probably the best next step for him.
If he wins impressively. If he goes out there lackluster against Jackson, like a decision, maybe like 29-28, I don't see him getting
If he is, though, that would probably be the most surprising thing for him to just be like, all right, it's kind of half-assed this.
We're all counting out Rampage here, but if he comes in shape, it's going to be a tough fight for him. Because, I mean, Rampage is great boxing. In his Bader fight, he landed a slam. I mean, he's trying to go back to his old ways. He wants someone who'll stand and trade with him. If the sheriff will stand and trade with him.
And again, I don't want to discredit Rampage, but unfortunately, I'm saying if the best 100% Rampage shows up, I still think he's got a puncher's chance.
Yeah,
he can stay with him. He's going to try to get in his face, and he's going to say, "Hey, let's go. Come on, let's do this. Put on a nice show." But even then, I still think that he's not going to win that battle.
The only thing I think Rampage has in this is maybe a little speed advantage because he's got really quick hands.
That is true.
But Rampage is just going to brawl, throw those wild haymakers. So yeah, Teixeira all the way.
Teixeira, I don't even have to think twice. Co-main events. Man, this is tough again.
Yeah.
Tough again. Maybe one has the striking advantage slightly, maybe one has the jiu-jitsu advantage, but they're like years of each other.
Exactly. Donald Cerrone and Anthony Pettis. The reigning, I guess he is the reigning WEC champ. I mean, he's the last champ.
The last one.
But, I mean, they are so much alike. I mean, they have great kickboxing, and when it hits the ground, they both have great jiu-jitsu. It's really tough to say.
Both their wins are both by KO, submission. They can kind of do it all.
Yeah, exactly. And Cerrone's coming out of that knockout win of Melvin Guillard, which is kind of hard to do. I mean, Melvin's been in some wars, and he's got some. I mean, he can take a punch.
And Pettis is doing the same thing over his KO kick of Lozon.
Yep. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of leaning towards Cerrone, but I wouldn't be surprised if Pettis wins this fight.
Yeah, I think they're so close that they're both
Pettis has been out
package.
for so long.
He has.
He's got some cage rust.
He has, and wasn't it because he was injured for
Yeah,
a while?
he had like a knee injury or something.
And Cerrone's been staying active.
Yeah,
He's been fighting.
His last fight was on the Edgar card against Benson Henderson, so that was maybe 3 months ago.
Yeah, UFC 150, which and we're at UFC 156 is next month.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cerrone wins this fight. I think Pettis is going to come out slow, but it's going to be a war.
Yeah, Pettis is known to be a little more technical, and I think the difference for me is Cerrone is going to have a little bit more power, and he does have that natural reach advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
That
I think he's
play.
going to use the jab and a lot of leg kicks.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we'll see a leg kick TKO. You never know.
I'm thinking though, they're both so skilled. I don't think this is going to be finished. I think one of them, this might even be a split decision.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Cerrone will probably just edge out in a decision win.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And then
Unless he catches him with a really, the kick on Guillard. He was robbed. He threw that, I want to say it was a switch kick, hit him right off.
he glanced right off his
exactly.
head.
Just glancing, and he goes straight out. Unless something like that happens. Either one of those guys can promote, so I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Definitely a fight to see.
All right, main event.
Main event. All right, we got a challenge for the main event. Challenge. I want to see. Do you want to do a time? Do you want to see who can do it faster? Do it 30 seconds.
Under 30 seconds. We each gonna have 30 seconds.
Under 30 seconds, you're going to break down the fight. Go ahead and just give me your whole scenario. You take the floor.
All right, time. Here we go.
Timer.
Demetrius Johnson, John Dodson. Dodson definitely got the speed advantage. Johnson, I'd say he has the wrestling advantage. Striking, push, they're both really quick. What's going to happen is Johnson, he's either going to take him down, and if he takes him down, Johnson's going to win this fight. But he wants to put on a good fight. They're both going to be going back and forth quick. It's going to be really tough to call. I'm kind of leaning towards, I want to say Dodson's going to win just because he's going to catch him. In his last fight, he was, I think he was moving backwards, caught him with a nice hook, and I forget the name of the guy, but he knocked him out really quick. I'd say Dodson's got the power, Johnson's got the wrestling. They're really quick. Dodson's probably got a little bit more speed, but Johnson's faced tougher competition. So the game plan would be for Johnson to go in there, take him down, grind him out for 5 rounds. I don't see that happening. I see Dodson taking it by probably decision or TKO.
All right. Let's see if I can do it under 30 seconds. Actually, I have the advantage. I should be like, I agree. All right, and go. You know what? They're both probably arguably the 2 fastest fighters in the UFC. They're saying who is faster. I got to give it to Demetrius Johnson. He is the champion. He is the favorite. I give him a slight edge in being more well-rounded, just based on from what I've actually seen. I didn't like how he came out a little slower against J.L. Silva. He got a lucky punch, and Silva, I think he was very way overrated. Way overrated by far. He got a punch, he put him away. He wasn't even knocked out, he just kind of covered up, and that was the end of it. He's fought good enough competition, but I still think that he's only in the league because of the competition he's faced, who's kind of outdated. So I got to say, I don't think either one is going to be finished, but Demetrius Johnson is well known for going the full 5 rounds, and I think him having the title gives him a little bit of a mental edge. I don't think John Johnson is quite ready for this. I got to go with the champ to defend his title.
And then this weekend, when you guys see this will be the last weekend, but Strikeforce, Marquardt, and what's his face?
Safadine or...
Yeah, Safadine. That's going to be a good card.
Whatever.
It's the most stacked Strikeforce card I've seen in a while.
As I like to call it, it's the fight where elite fighters are facing people I had to Google.
Yeah, totally agree with that. But
I don't see the belts going anywhere. But
well, there's only one belt up right now. What I'm interested in
the
is
heavyweight belts as well?
No, it was just a tournament. You got it for it's like in Pride when they had the Grand Prix. I'm gonna pick a bone with some of the Bleacher Report guys.
Damn.
They're writing. There was an article I just read it. Bring back Strikeforce. Is it gonna happen? I mean, not Strikeforce. Bring back Pride. Is that gonna happen? They're just writing to get views now. I mean, come on. I'm calling you guys out right now. You can't write a lame ass article and get like 10,000 views on it just to write. I mean, they're saying, oh, we need more competition for the UFC. You have Bellator. UFC is never going to bring back Pride. As much as I'd like to see it,
yeah.
The new Pride is Dream. I mean, they just got bought out by Glory. I mean, they're doing New Year's Eve
It's the same
shows,
thing with a
and they're
different
doing
name.
4 or 5. Exactly. They're having 4 or 5 cards a year now. So I mean, they're coming back together. So stop writing BS articles.
Man.
Bleacher Report.
I was gonna say, man, we're getting some balls over here.
All
Bring
right.
it. Back to Jonathan Snowden.
Exactly.
Snowden.
Take him down.
We're still writing a book. It's in the mix. We're gonna do it. I swear to God, we are.
Yeah. All right. So.
No more news.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Ryan, Freek, Poli
Josh Leduc. See you guys later.